Hey, what's going on, guys? This is Emmanuel. I'm back again, and we're going to talk about exactly what I promised, which is another stabilizer for you to make sure that you are healthy. All right, so the stabilizer we're going to talk about this week is the rotator cuffs. So stick around. Let's get started. So as I promised, we will be doing a series, or we are doing a series, which is focused on various stabilizers. Now the stabilizer is so important. Now if you're first clicking on, this is the first time watching any of my videos and you don't know what a stabilizer is and what a prime mover is, I plead you to please go watch the previous videos explaining this so you can have a better understanding of what's happening right now, because I'm gonna pretty much be going over some things, some words I probably already said, and I may not go over it well enough for you to understand. So with that said, let's get started. So the rotator cuffs, to have very healthy shoulder blades, or not shoulder blades, but to have very healthy shoulders in general, you need to make sure that your stabilizers in your shoulder, which is the rotator cuffs, are completely strong and is keeping you, or your shoulders rather, healthy. Now, why is this so important? The importance of the rotator cuffs is because, one, what a lot of people don't know is that their actual arm bone right here is literally attached to your scapula, which is the shoulder blade. So it's kind of floating in the air. So if you want that to be attached and well and don't fall out, you need to make sure that the things that are supposed to keep it in place, like the ligaments and things like that, but we're not talking about ligaments now, we are talking about rotator cuffs. Now, their job is to make sure that that socket stays solid, all right? Their job is to make sure that socket stays solid. Now, you're gonna see it on the screen, what it looks like. So if the rotator cuffs do not work or aren't strong, what's gonna happen is that socket is gonna be pretty loose. But your body is not dumb. It's not stupid at all. So what it does is it uses other muscles surrounding that same joint to strengthen that joint. So we have muscles in the back holding it in, and we have muscles in the front also holding in, as you see on your screen. Now the importance of this is that you need to make sure that both of these stabilizers, these rotator cuff muscles, are strong, so you have stabilization on both sides of the joint. Because if you don't, guess what has to step in? Your lats right here, and also your lats, your back muscles in general, and your chest. Like things like this have to get involved just to stabilize your shoulders. But there's something that's supposed to do that. There's something that's more than capable of doing that, which is your rotator cuffs. And that's why it's so important to strengthen your rotator cuffs. Now, how on earth do you strengthen your rotator cuffs? Now, there are various exercises you can use. And all the various exercises focus on one thing and one thing only. Well, technically two if you split the two types of muscle that we're going for. One does this. One turns your shoulder bone in, and one turns your shoulder bones out. So on the back of the scapula, as you see on your screen, we have the muscle that turns your shoulder blades what? Out. And on the front side of your scapula, on the screen again, it turns your arm bone, your humerus, in, okay? So it's so important to make sure that these muscles are working absolutely well. Now the exercise that I have for you today is this exercise, as you see on the screen. Now this exercise I call the arm rotation. We have the arm rotation and reverse arm rotation, all right? It's very clear and very easy to do. It's not hard. All you need to focus on is on your humerus, which is your arm bone, or you can focus on your arm from your elbow to your shoulders, okay? From your elbow to your shoulders. All you're doing is you're turning it out and you're turning it in. Now on the screen, as you see, I'm laying on the floor to kind of give me some kind of base, all right? So what I do is, as you see, I turn my arms out and try to touch my knuckles to the floor. And that's working on the outer side or the back side of the rotator cuffs. Now, when we turn over to the other side, we're trying to touch the front side. Are these knuckles too? Honestly, I'm not even sure what these are called. I call these knuckles and these. you're gonna try to knock on the floor, okay? You may not be able to knock on the floor, and that's fine. The key thing is to make sure that you're pointing downwards and you keep that tension. You're gonna hold it for 30 seconds. You're gonna hold both exercises for 30 seconds. All right, so when you turn down and try to knock on the floor, you're gonna hold that position, and that's gonna be working your internal rotator cuffs, okay? That's the one in front of your scapula or your shoulder blades. And then when you're trying to hit your knuckles to the back, when you're trying to hit your knuckles to the back, that's working on your external rotator cuffs. Now, make sure that you do these exercises 5 times, 5 sets, and hold it for 30 seconds each for each set that you're doing, for each exercise. It is so crucial. If you are able to do this, your shoulders they will thank you. They will thank you. Now, I don't know if some of you guys heard my story. However, when I was like 10 years old, I tried to throw a rock over a power line. I don't know what I was doing, but that's just what you did at 10 years old. Back then anyway. These days, they stay inside and do TikTok. But I tried to throw it over a power line, and I think I threw my shoulders somehow, and I popped it out of the socket. And it has been hurting for years. 10 years old, I'm 31. So it stopped hurting sometime last year when I started working on my rotator cuffs. Once I honed in on my stabilizers, the rotator cuffs, I realized that, my arms are getting a lot looser, and I didn't feel the pain like I used to. Like no pain at all. Wouldn't you love to say that? No pain at all. Now, my situation may be a little bit different from yours, but I know one thing for sure. When you strengthen your stabilizer, your body will be so much better because your prime movers, which is the bigger muscles, they get to do their job without tightening up. So that's what I have for you guys today. I hope you guys really enjoyed it. You got some good things out of it. If you did, please, I'd like you to subscribe. I'd like you to smash that like button. All right, and on those on Facebook and Instagram, I want you to follow. And don't forget, because we're gonna be learning. We're gonna strengthen our bodies. We're gonna be getting better. All right, so it's important for you guys to stay along because I want to share this with you guys. But before I go, there's one last thing that I want to share with you guys, which is something that you need to. If I don't tell you, it's just bad on my part. I'm not doing my job, and that is that I have a 90-day program that focuses on all the stabilizer and your prime movers to make sure that you get to the best possible self. That's why the company is called Ultimate Self. So make sure that you click the link below and you get started on your 90-day program. It's imperative if you want to get to that tip-top shape. So that's what I have for you guys today. I really hope you guys enjoyed yourselves. See you next week. Emmanuel, out.